Paula Deen might be like next door. That's a very strange situation she's in right now that the hammer came down. Because now it's like, all right, the executive's got to be like, all right, what is because she's basically like $100 million whale just sitting there. No, that's not a fat joke. That's a gambling thing. All right? Get
not
your
a fat
mind,
joke.
Yeah,
that's a gambling joke.
I mean, like, she'll make you $100 million. And she's just sitting there on the beach, right? And they're going to figure out what is the acceptable amount of time.
Yes.
After somebody drops the N-word or admits to it that you can bring them back on TV to make cookies.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So you're saying
she's going to be back.
You're saying she's coming back.
She's making... Dude, Dog the Bounty Hunter. I looked it up. 3 months.
3 months.
He got a 3-month suspension. And within 3 months, he was back on TV, and some of the guys he was chasing were African-American, and nobody had a problem with it. It's a really weird situation.
So what you're saying is they catch someone in one of these situations, they say, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. Everybody says we want nothing more to do with you, and then the clock is running.
No, first what happens is you get caught, and then you have the people who are, like, professionally, like, outraged. You know, those people who get on. They can't even get it out. What kind of person who? I mean, this is just blah, 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 right? They do that for like 3 days, and then you have to cry and be, I don't know what I was doing. Try to make some cockamamie story up that you're not a psycho, and then you just sit there and you wait for the phone to ring because you know you can make people money. That's all it's about. Like, they should just have a channel for people who screw up, and you just put them on that, right? Because I don't understand firing somebody like that's going to make them, like, somehow help the problem. Like that dude on ESPN, he said that stuff against gay people, so then he gets fired. How does that help his homophobia? Right. Now you put him out on the street, right? He's out there drinking booze, you know? He's probably saying even more homophobic stuff, and everybody's coming by. You know? Just put him on a channel, like the Disgrace channel or something, right? You know? You could have, like... And it's like you're in, like, the penalty box, and you just stay there.
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all 7 of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
There you are. Look at Billy.
How are you?
You look like a fucking prize.
My stupid headphones to work here. Something that'll work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
It's about me, Nick. It's not about you here. Here we go.
All right. So Netflix,
I am.
Second season.
The deepest couch in sports entertainment.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
A giant desk.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. Yell at other people's kids.
So
This is we're very you know, you wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down here.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
No,
I know what happened.
You came right at me just saying my theories stunk. I'm just here to promote a cartoon. I'm a dancing monkey today. I'm trying to be a good guy. I want people to like me and watch the show here, and you're coming at me. I don't know anything about hoop. I'm a 5'10" white guy.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You know, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that...
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
I have always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
What?
You can't get up there and just do your dick jokes better than other people.
No, I can't. I feel like it's not the right way to go about it.
All you have to do is be louder than someone else.
Oh, I can do
and
that.
Flap your hands around. You're guaranteed to make the finals. I built a whole career on that.
At some point, I was going to make a point here. That's why I keep looking at here, and I just realized I'm blocking myself out of the camera. I love that you have the jib camera for this, like it's an action movie.
Let's swoop in at these two guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm gonna fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah, I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom. Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like, you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people are going to miss it. They're going to walk right. He's going to be walking on water, and they're immediately walking by him. They're not even going to see it. Long story short, Hugh Jackman plays the part of Gary Hart, and he was amazing. And I had a really fun scene where we were tailing him. We were chasing him down this alley. And he's like the nicest guy ever, but he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these actors are coming up to me. I love the choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like, there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out. They come up out of the manhole covers. All these gold diggers, like a zombie movie. And that is a gold digger magnet. And they are so good at it, they can look and tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that. Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online. Guys, every time I go into a store and I see something, they go, can we get a phone number? Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. Guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
You really are the whitest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. Served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah. I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like.
I do.
You.
I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. It's like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun
Pulling
has
up
never
to job
touched you.
interviews right as I get out of the car. You're hired. Go home. We'll see you tomorrow.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job. Oprah said that.
Oprah said that. Yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on like oil. What was that movie that guy made? The fucking, they drill oil. What is it?
There Will Be Blood?
There Will Be Blood. Out in the ocean, they would drill. I can never remember the names.
Deepwater.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Deepwater Horizon. Yeah.
Those guys were working on an oil rig. The fucking thing blows up. They're on fire. They got to jump into water that's on fire. Salty water into their wounds. You got to swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water, praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You know what? It really is all worth it.
I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. It's going to take her four-wheeler.
So your Christian background is part of the show. Or
Yes, and I wanted to talk to you about Jesus after this.
Well, the only reason why I bring it up is some people thought maybe you went a little too far.
As far as what?
Well, they thought that maybe you were being disrespectful to the Christian religion.
Who did?
I'm telling you, you need to Google.
Oh, good Lord.
So did you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know we did maybe two jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. Like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think I want to.
You know what I'm talking about? It's a morning show. I understand.
I came on.
That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this,
And
we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great. It all worked out. He got his own personal graduation. Like, I was in such a great mood. Look how yellow this couch is. It's like the sun.
But what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missile shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean?
Hey, this is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't like you creep me out with that big microphone and that country western shirt.
Oh, no, this isn't country western. It's hip now to wear this. This is my nightclub look. Yeah, come on.
All right. This is I guess this is the internet, right? You just sort of throw it out there?
I just throw it out there. I figure you're a funny guy.
Throw it out there. I'll throw it out there, too.
Well, here's the deal. Bill's a comedian. He's at the Punchline. He's in town, and you're a funny guy. You've got these routines in your head, so I figure I'll toss you a mic, and you go.
And I'm going to do stand-up in front of 9 people in a radio station? No, I'm not doing that.
Well, you're taking the fun out of Southside Steve TV.
I'll take, how about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance, and I'm a racist cowboy.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. I
I did. My wife did.
Right,
I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her off at the emergency room, she goes, "All right, you got to go park the car down in the spot." And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there. This voice in my head just said, "Just keep going. Just keep going. Just drive away." Of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes, and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family, where like, I just can't imagine like the hell that you would be in to do that move, but just knowing you were going to do it, like the level of excitement that you would have before, like, okay, I'm gonna go get some cigarettes. I'm never gonna see you people again, your mother-in-law. All of this stuff is over. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. The people go on Ancestry.com. Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
But do you like my mic?
No, I don't. I don't. Please.
Is that comfortable? Is this uncomfortable?
This is, no, don't, man. Honestly. Can I take the mic?
Sure.
Now, that's the number one thing you don't do. As I learned that in broadcasting school, you never give up the microphone. See, now I have the power. This Bob Barker thing.
Yeah.
You're what is this? Rock 100.5. Mm-hmm. This is the worst interview I've ever done. And he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
No.
The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with like moronic thought. Like if you're into conspiracy theory, if you think like the bankers need to be stopped, then you also think the moon is made out of cheese, and you think that there's shifters and like lizard people. You know, they just try to knock it down. It's like this country started with a conspiracy. That's how it came. We won, so they're considered heroes and rebels, you know, whatever, revolutionaries. But if they lost, they would be hanged for conspiring. Yeah. It's not like it spontaneously happened.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden everybody just picked up a gun and started shooting at the British. You know, they sat around.
They planned it out.
They planned it out.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting tired of these people. What do you
It's funny when you said we won. I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people out.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and
No, I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house and not have to deal with, some jerk living above me or below me.
All right.
You know?
Yeah.
Do my own little thing. Get my little 12-gauge, get a bunch of cans of tuna. Get ready for the apocalypse. That's what I want to do.
But is that were you funnier, or was it just you enjoyed the difficulty more? I mean, I don't know if it makes you funnier because it's a harder show to do, or it's more.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either. But I will say that what I liked about it was that just that those years where you just like, so much of your stand-up career is just one impossible situation after another. And you're just standing there trying to do the math. Like, how the fuck am I going to get these people? We don't have a microphone. Is that going to be a problem?
Can you do 10 minutes while the band changes? No, I can't. They're just going to take the instruments off and on the stage. No, that's not how it
and
works.
as you're doing it, they're coming in there tuning up. Done gigs in hallways.
Yeah.
Hallways, areas that met in a hallway, cafeterias at like 1 PM.
Sure.
The college kids have no idea there's going to be a show, and they just go, "We have a comedian. His name's Bill Burr. Here he is." And then you just walk up there and have to do an hour.
Sure.
Just an hour
I know.
of humiliation. I would always say to myself, in an hour and 1 minute, this is going to be over. And I'm going to be in my car driving away. And that's what I would do. And the part that I hated was the waiting to go on.
Yeah, I still do.
Once you go on, it's the hourglass has been turned over.
Yeah.
The sand's starting to fall. And every second you're up there, whatever hit you take, that's one less one you got to take.
Yeah,
and
no, it's true.
I used to always call it my college agent afterwards, flipping out.
going, I'm fucking done with these things. I'm never fucking doing this again. I don't give a shit. He'd be like, all right. And then he knew I needed the money. And then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, by then I'd be at home. And I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road, and rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like in the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.
I know my dad was his funniest, though, was whenever you, broke something. Because my dad would totally flip out, right? But the words he used, you would have actually thought it was a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, you'd break a window, psh, he'd be like, nice! Real nice! Oh, that's beautiful! That is just beautiful! I swear to God, that channel is unbelievable. It's 24 hours of food. That's got to be like the Playboy channel in Ethiopia. I'm serious. If I was in Ethiopia, that is a channel I would watch, Wouldn't watch like HBO or ESPN. I'd be sitting there watching the food going, damn, man, look at that cake. Hanging out with all my skinny friends. Look at those hot dogs, man. A good story is always you doing something wrong, That's why nice people are so damn boring. I mean, they're nice, but their stories suck. Nice person tells you a story. Halfway through it, I just want to start screaming, Like, I went to the beach today, saw sunrise and a picnic. I'm like, ah! Where are the hookers? Where's the drugs? Those are two key elements for a story. I'll tell you the only thing I like about my computer is I really enjoy spell check. No, I love it. You know what I love about spell check? You don't have to be close to getting the word right. Have you ever noticed that? All you gotta do is just get it somewhere within the ballpark of the word. It's almost like your computer can just start guessing I don't know, dinosaur? When you're sitting there like an idiot, nah, I wasn't trying to spell dinosaur. I'm serious. Women have too much energy for me. That's what I've noticed, You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's go fill it up with some stuff. Really religious. She goes to church every week and I never go and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And it's not because I don't believe in a higher power. I definitely do. My thing is when I go to church, I can't get past the fact that I'm just listening to some fucking guy. You ever think of that shit when you go in there? That's just some dude. And people are like, no, that's a special guy. No, it isn't. You ever drive down the street and see 30 people up on the sidewalk and you just think, right? You don't do it, you just think it. That's what separates the psychos from the functioning psychos. No, but it's unbelievable. Everybody is talking about pedophiles and all that type of stuff. I don't know. Maybe there's more of them nowadays. Is it easier now? Because of the internet, because back in the day you had to work for it, right? You had to get an ice cream truck, you had to buy some fudgicles, you had to figure out when the kids got out of school, you pick a straggler, All right. This is how it works with guys. Anytime you do anything remotely sensitive, heartwarming, anything that's going to make you more of a loving, caring individual, immediately all your guy friends suggest that maybe, just maybe, you want to suck a dick. My dad was like that. My dad's the greatest dude I ever met in my life. And he had a temper. Anytime anything broke in the house, 5 minutes into fixing it, he was bitching about his marriage. It was hilarious. He'd see something broke. Oh, Christ, will you look at that? God damn it, Billy, give me that fucking screwdriver. I swear to God, I don't know what the fuck I ever got married for. But what kills me is that there's actually guys out there that will actually listen to that shit. Yeah, you talk to them, they'll be, hey, how's it been going? Oh, been rough last couple of nights downstairs on the couch. You know how that is, right? No, I don't. I don't understand. Yeah, how did you get yourself into that situation? I shouldn't make fun of Ebola. I don't know anything about it. Other than if you get it, you have this unbelievable urge to go to the airport. Right? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Nobody gets Ebola, just has the decency to just walk out in the woods by themselves and just bleed out like a gentleman, right? I think about the population all the time, and I think I got the plan. I would just start randomly sinking cruise ships. Think about the kinds of people that take a cruise. These aren't forward thinkers.
I've been battling with my girlfriend a lot lately. She loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend because I'm a jerk. So Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have? You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. Well, there's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it.
right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades.
I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 a.m. on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama's going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's why, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello.
That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, and then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking, it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling for another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak, right? I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, you know? I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know, when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You know, I got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her. Just throwing that out.
I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas.
It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, you know, I'm actually taking care of it. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, how she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do? That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400,000 a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400,000 a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned inside. I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is going to be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice I said they always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday?
And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is to be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff, like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one, I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. I mean, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter, which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I got to make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for a rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. I think, that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
And being like, all right, well, that's why I drank the way I did. That's why I've trashed women the way I did. All the fucking shit. I knew every fucking thing I did, good and bad, in that moment. It's like, all right, so now I got to get sober, and I got to fucking work my way through this shit. Because, you know, my wife's, you know, I don't know if you guys notice, I have a bit of a temper. No, not you, Bill, yeah. So here's the thing, but I didn't think, you know, I'm so fucked up, and grew up such a fucked up time, that I didn't even think I had a temper. Because I was like, well, I don't fucking yell at people in my house. Like, I don't like curse my wife out. I mean, we get into it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I get into it with her, but I don't like go like, oh, Jesus Christ, you fucking bitch. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't yell at my kids. But what I do is I still do is I flip out. So, like I said, I didn't think that this was a problem. My wife told me it was a problem, but I don't listen to her. You know? Why would I listen to her? All she does is criticize. You know? I got nothing but bad reviews on the fucking husband Yelp. It's just all, you know, didn't enjoy the experience. Thumbs down, half a star, never get a fucking attaboy, right? So it just becomes white noise after a while. Like, oh, what, am I doing something wrong again? Oh, yeah, you again. Okay, great. Great. What did I do? What did I do this time, huh?
What do I have to work on? Go ahead, fucking let me know, right? So I don't listen to my lovely wife like an idiot that I am. So one day I learned a harsh lesson, okay? It was a breakfast time, right? For some reason, I had like 20 minutes to myself, which is really rare when you got 2 kids, 4 and under, right? So I'm thinking like, holy shit, I can actually make myself a breakfast. Like the old days. I'll make myself 2 eggs over easy. I'll make some toast. I'll make some bacon. Fucking burn it up the way I like it. It's gonna be the shit, right? So I'm having a great time, make myself a little Grand Slam breakfast. I sit down to eat. I got the OJ. I got the glass of water. It looks like a picture from a commercial. And right as I sit down to eat, my phone lights up, and I get a text message from my buddy. He goes, "Hey man, I thought you were coming on this Zoom meeting. It started 5 minutes ago. We need you on this." And I just absolutely lost it. I was like, Jesus Christ. Of course I have a meeting. Of course I have my meeting, because why couldn't I just have one goddamn cocksucking motherfucking morning to myself? Fucking toast flying all over the place, flipping the fuck out. And then all of a sudden, my daughter, who was like 2.5 at the time, comes running into the kitchen with big tears in her eyes, just going like, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. And I was like, oh shit. So I literally just squatted down. I was like, no, buddy, no, come here. I wasn't yelling at you. Daddy wasn't yelling at you. I would never yell at you. I love you, buddy. Daddy was yelling at the phone, okay? Dad yells at the phone when it says stuff that he doesn't like, okay? Your dad has issues, okay? I'm sorry, buddy. I would never yell at you. And I could literally feel her tears like drying in my shirt. I was like, buddy, come on. I would never do that, okay? I love you. You still love me? She's like, yeah, yes. And I go, okay, all right, buddy. And then I did that thing. You do that thing with a kid where you turn around and then you like push him in the direction you want him to go in? And I just had to sit there like, I just did that to a 2.5-year-old. And she was like walking away, and I'm just sitting there like thinking like, how bad was that? Is she just gonna go play with the toy and forget about it? Or is she no longer gonna be an astronaut? Like, what did I just do? I thought I was better than my dad. I'm making the same mistakes that he's making. I fucking hate myself. I didn't do the meeting. I didn't eat the breakfast. I just went upstairs. Just wanted to be alone, right? Just want to be fucking alone, you know? But I got a wife, so it doesn't work that way, you know? Especially when you fuck up as bad as I did and as loudly as I did. I knew she was coming down the hall. I knew I was going to have to watch some game film. She was bringing the projector. The screen was going to come down. And I'm literally just laying in there like, please, God, just let her give me 2 minutes. Just give me 2 minutes to fucking calm down. No, she just comes right in, and she's just like, stop. You want to discuss that little incident that happened downstairs in the kitchen? And I'm like, no, honey, can you just give me a second? My heart is still on the floor down there. Just give me a second. I know I fucked up. You know, she doesn't give a shit at that point. And she's right. It's her kid, too. So she just wants it. I'll tell you right now, if you think you're going to do this, fuck it up, Dan, all this shit. And, I mean, she was right. She was 100% right, but I wasn't ready to hear the information. So she just sort of zoned out. And if my kid's over, you're going to fucking hear it. And I'm just sitting there, laying in the bed with the nerve to be upset with her. She didn't do anything. And I'm just staring at her mouth as it's moving, not hearing anything. I just started thinking of the news. Like a news story just popped into my head. You know that news story every once in a while you see, like every year and a half, you just see some guy never committed a crime in his life. You know, went to church every week, helped old ladies across the street, and then out of nowhere he just kills his wife. And I'm thinking, like, it's got to be from times like this. It just has to. He just has something to say. He just had, like, I don't know, I just fucked up, but she was right. I know she was right. So I sat there, I fucking took it, you know. I will say as an aside, I think, you know, the next time you see a guy who never even cheated on his taxes, and then out of nowhere he kills his wife, I think it's high time to bring back the question, what did she say? Okay, just say it, all right? Examine the problem from 360 degrees. So anyway. So, I love my dad and everything, you know. So, but you know, there's things I want to improve on. So, the great thing that I have done is my kids are not afraid of me. And every time I have fucked up, I've gotten down to my kids' level and let them know that I was wrong and I apologize. So, the great thing is my kids are not afraid of me. So now, my daughter's a little bit older. She's like 4.5 now. So now, whenever I start flipping out, she actually has been helping me to stop. Because the second I hear that cute voice, I just think, Dad, sorry. I just immediately... It's hilarious. Like, I'll be in the kitchen, and all of a sudden, I'm always in the kitchen doing something, right? And one day I just come in like, what the fuck kind of toaster is this? What was wrong with the other toaster? I gotta download, I need to download the app to make fucking cocksucking fucking. And all of a sudden, she'll just be like, in the other room be like, Dad, don't scream like that. And the second I hear that voice, I'm like, you're right, buddy, sorry. Sorry, I'm just gonna download the app here. Download the app and the amount of what it takes just to make some fucking toast. Oh, Dad, you said a bad word. You said a bad word. She does all of that shit, right? To the point, one night, we have like movie night once a week. It's my favorite thing. We'll watch some Pixar thing, you know? And one of those great movies, you know? They're great. They're for kids and they're for adults. It's fucking awesome, right? So we sit down, we make the popcorn and everything. So we have this smart TV in the living room. Oh, people, this is a smart TV. Oh, is it smart? Oh, is this fucking TV? It's so goddamn smart that one time I was in there, I had all the lights out because we're going to watch a movie, you know? But the TV's so smart, as I'm pressing on, which you don't even do, don't hit the on button. You hit the on button, that fucks it up. You got to press 2 other buttons. Oh, is that what I got to do? Is that what I have to fucking do? All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that's. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but. I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning. And then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb, you gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? How did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? You take some of that fucking anger. Yeah. I feel so stupid that I got mad at that woman. I shouldn't have got mad at her. I should have bought her a beer. And just listen to her troubles and had empathy and be like, yeah, it's not your fault. You married a woman. I did it too. You're not going to win. There's no winning this. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, do a little people watching. Take a look at the look on the average lesbian's face. All right? I don't mean a lesbian in her 20s. She's got a whole life ahead of her. She's got Christmas in her eyes, right? I mean a lesbian about 35, 36, starting to settle into what the deal's gonna be, right? And then look across the bar, find a married guy about the same age. Look at the look on his face. Look at the look on her face. Go back to his face. It's the same fucking look. Yeah. And then look at gay guys. Some of the happiest people I've ever met in my life. They're almost too happy. It's like, hey, how's it going? They're like, hi! Almost floating across the room with that lack of estrogen just yanking down your fucking dreams. Now look, it might be a front. I'm not saying all gay guys are just blissfully happy, but it's looking like a pretty good time to me. Dude, they're some of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Any idea you have, they support it. They're just like, yes, yes, queen, yes, you're fierce, you can do it. Lesbians are up at the bar like a bunch of jaded cops. That's all fucking bullshit. What the fuck was I thinking? U-hauling after 10 days, moving in. What the fuck was I thinking? She's crazy. No, I'm telling you, I think married men and lesbians need to start hanging out more. And we got to put our heads together and try to solve our common problem, the women in our lives, so we can somehow attain the perceived happiness of the average gay dude out there. Yeah. So, if you believe in that shit, I'll give you some advice. If you're going to expand your fucking world of friends, I'll give you some advice. You can't just hang out with any lesbian. All right? You got to make sure you're hanging out with the dude in the relationship. Right? And by dude, I'm not saying she's manly. I'm not being ignorant. By dude, I just mean she's the one that gets blamed for most of the shit. Right? Because no relationship is balanced.
Somebody is getting away with more. Somebody's drafting behind the other. It's like a bike race. Somebody else is taking the fucking weather in the face. Right? Somebody else is fucking right behind. Oh yeah, it really is wet. Just kind of hiding under your fucking poncho. Male, female, 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 they, whatever the fuck it is you're into. Every relationship, there's the person that does the dishes and the person that lets them soak. Right? They don't let them soak. They know you're gonna do them. They're just waiting you out. And after a while, you can't fucking take it anymore. They're just sitting there. You gotta go out and you start doing it. And then what do? They sit in the other room and they wait like they don't know what you're doing. And they wait till they hear pots and pans. And that's when the show starts. That's when they come running in like, what? Oh, I was gonna do those. What? And you're like, no, you weren't. They've been sitting there for 8 hours. I got my hands in room temperature water with scrambled eggs floating around. Don't gaslight me. You're a fucking animal. You were raised by animals. Get out of my sight. Don't yell at me! Right? Yes. Every relationship has the person that will take the trash bag out of the trash barrel and do a little tie it off, and then leave it slumped against the counter like it took two behind the ear and a mob hit. And then there's the person that actually picks it up and takes it out to the curb at night and puts it in the trash can, right? My wife's hilarious, man. I love her, but she's got some of the worst excuses ever. I'm like, why don't you ever take out the trash? She goes, I would, I'm just afraid of coyotes. I'm afraid of the coyotes. It's like, so am I. So am I. They're rabid dogs. They hunt in packs of 2s and 3s. You don't do it because you don't want to do it because you know I'm going to do it. Just get the fuck away from me, please. No, I'm telling you. So, anyway, I know I said a lot of divisive shit here tonight. So before I get out of here, I want to... Let's bring the room together. It's a very divisive time. Everyone wants to feel safe. Let's bring and do a nice, normal, mainstream topic so everybody can drive home happy. No fights, all right? Sound good? All right, great. Let's talk abortion. There you go. Everybody has an opinion. It's my body, it's my right. Well, then fucking drive to Arkansas, bitch! Right? Everybody has an opinion. As do I have a really weird take on abortion. I'm going to tell you that right from the get-go, okay? I'm 100% pro-choice. Always have been. Ladies, I said it was weird. For the love of God, stop getting in the trunk of the car. Just wait to the end. You're supposed to vet me first. Woo! Fucking feed out the sunroof. I said I had a weird take. Pro-choice always made sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense. All right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. Like, I sit on the fence and the whole thing makes sense to me. Whatever anybody's saying, like, don't tell me what to do. It's my body, my choice. That's right, man. She's right. Leave her the hell alone. Oh, you're killing a baby. Well, I mean, there is that. You know? I mean, you know, if we're going to be honest, that is the whole purpose of the procedure. You know? You're not going in there because you got an earache. You're going in there because you're like, I got a baby in me. Get the fuck out of here. Right? You walk in with a baby. You come out without one. What happened to the baby? Right? Something fucking happened. So, pro-choice people are like, well, it's not a life yet. It's not a baby yet. If you do, I don't know what they say. Before you do it the first Thursday or the last Tuesday and you spin around one time, they dance between the raindrops. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. If you didn't do what you just did, there would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right? Now, before all you pro-life people get excited. I think it's great you're killing your babies. It's fantastic. Help Mother Nature out. There's too many of us. It's been 130 degrees out. Animals are going extinct. There's plastic in the fucking ocean. We don't need any more fucking people. And especially, you know, if you're honest with yourself, have you done anything great with your life? Is the person you're banging doing anything great? The answer to both of those questions is no. What are the odds you're going to make a great person? I'm not saying you're going to make a bad person. You're just going to make another person that doesn't go when the light turns green because they're staring at their fucking phone. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much.